welcome to another live stream for CT Dice Sports on YouTube. On here, just gonna be doing a watch along here for Boxing Day fixtures in the English Premier League. So the games are already on. So we're just gonna go through it. We got about 5 games going on this segment, and we're going to recap the early game between Man City and Everton. So I'm going to try to find the highlights for that game, basically, because I didn't watch the full game. For that, you see, Man City did not win again, so that should be interesting here. So Chelsea currently is playing Fulham. We're gonna get right into it. Just gonna have some talking points for today. It's just gonna be me testing out a few things and working on this streaming. We're gonna get right into it here in a minute. Let's see. Okay, so interesting fixtures. Chelsea is 1-0 up currently right now, and the goal was scored by Cole Palmer for Chelsea. Kind of, and that was in the 16th minute. So this is 25 minutes into the um, busy schedule here, or the busy window in the EPL. So just watching a full stream. It seems Southampton had a chance against West Ham, but that didn't come through. So we're just gonna be going through it. This is gonna be interesting. Just trying to figure out a few things here, putting up a few shared screens, a few information while the live stream is on YouTube. For anyone that comes in, I appreciate it. I'm gonna try to walk through this, have a little chill 2 hours here on the channel. I'm gonna be trying a few things. I'm just trying to figure out and share a few things, react to games as they go. So there are 5 games ongoing right now. It's the 27th minute on Boxing Day. Don't forget, guys. Hopefully everyone had an incredible Christmas yesterday. Ready for Boxing Game days, and I'm guessing if you haven't unboxed your gifts yet, you still are planning to do that. I would guess you'd have to have a lot of gifts not to have done it on Christmas Day or early Boxing Day morning. But either way, some English Premier League football here for Boxing Day. It's usually an interesting tradition having Premier League games on Boxing Day. Um, I think almost every year, so that should be fun. We're going to look at the English Premier League table soon, just to see where teams currently are and just see how that's going. Um, I'm going to do a quick look here at the full scoreboard for the Premier League. Mm, okay. Okay, so Nottingham Forest just scored Tottenham. The interesting thing is I can't tell if my audio is all good here. Um, well, hopefully I can be heard. Actually, I would need to test that out just to make sure. So this should be good. Okay, so Anthony Elanga with a goal for Nottingham against Tottenham. I just think if we take a quick look here at this Tottenham lineup, this should be interesting. I think this Tottenham team at the moment sucks defensively, Don't tell me, oh, Fraser Foster is the goalkeeper. I know Fraser Foster is listed as a 36-year-old goalkeeper for Tottenham Hotspurs, but he looks on the field like he's probably like 50. I don't think he can bend down or probably move to try to save games. We're going to look at this lineup for these games in a minute as well. Just trying to sort this whole thing out. So basically, Nottingham Forest 1, Tottenham 0. The expectation would be at some point Tottenham would um, get a chance to score because, they score in most of their games. So we'll also take a look at that. I'm just going to come back here and make sure the stream is good. Okay. Media. I'm just kind of curious. Hmm. I'll be right back, guys. Just gonna make sure the stream is properly working here. Just gonna check a few things and I'll be right back. I'll be right here. I'm gonna just put up the Premier League table. Can I find a live standings while the results come in for the English Premier League table? This doesn't give me the full picture here. Okay, I'll just put up the standings here. I'll be right back. Okay, so we should be back. A few technical difficulties. Should be back live here. It's almost halftime in the games. I'm gonna do a quick um, recap of the games. I can't say I've watched most of these Boxing Day games while trying to figure out the video and audio of this live stream. So I'm just gonna go and in real time kind of react to where the games are right now. So there are five games on, almost halftime. Chelsea is still leading 1-0 against Fulham. Bournemouth 0-0 against Crystal Palace at home. Newcastle at home is leading Aston Villa 1-0. And it seems Aston Villa has a red card as well. So we're going to take a look into that. Let's see who has that red card. So that's John Duran. Ooh, the excellent John Duran, I see him picked up a red card. I'm guessing he started the game today. That's interesting. So started at top nine ahead of Oli Watkins and got a red card in that game. And Southampton at home, it's 0-0 in that game between Southampton at home versus West Ham United. So the games here are almost going to halftime. So that would give me a little time here to actually see where the teams are based on the current results. Nottingham Forest is currently third position. Chelsea is second at 38 points with 2 games ahead of Liverpool. Liverpool will be playing later today on Boxing Day, the 26th of December 2024. Um, Arsenal is fourth position, 33 points with 17 games. Is not playing currently at this window. And Newcastle is currently 29 points at fifth position in the English Premier League. We're going to take a quick look at that. Once these games go to halftime, I will be able to take a quick look at it. And also, I would want to take a look in real time of the highlights between Man City and Everton, and basically take a look at how Man City actually dropped 2 points again. Didn't see that game in full, but would like to see the highlights and see what's going there. Take a look at the team Man City actually played with. So that should be interesting. I'll take a look at that in a bit. So games are almost at halftime. So we'll take a look at that and go through a few information, a few things to clean up here while we're watching the game, just doing some information. So I'm trying to watch the games, I'm trying to stream this, so that's actually interesting to see how that goes. Okay, so it's halftime between Newcastle and Tottenham. It also between Newcastle and Aston Villa, with Newcastle leading 1-0, and the goal. Actually, I didn't check here to see who actually scored for Newcastle, and it was Anthony Gordon in the second minute. So I'm going to start by looking for the highlights for the game between Man City and Everton. I want to watch that highlights. I'm very curious to see how that game went. And while I'm taking a look to pull up that highlight here, I'm just going to pull the information from that game. So here, let's just see before I see that. Okay, okay. I don't want to, no need for interviews and ads and stuff like that, but let's see. So Bernardo Silva scored in the 14th minute, Iliman Diaye scored in the 36th minute, and that's all she wrote in that game. Just taking a quick look at the game here. Man City came with a 4-1-4-1 formation, and Everton had a 4-3-3 formation. Mm. So for Manchester City, Stefan Ortega was the goalkeeper. And to start the game was Nathan Ake and Manuel Akanji at centre back, right back, um, Rico Lewis, left back, Josko or Hosko Vadiol. Midfield, he had Mateo Kovacic, and then the four attacking players just supporting Ellen Haaland would be Jeremy Doku on the left, Bernardo Silva and Foden in the middle, and Savinho to the right, and then Haaland top nine for that game. Later in the game, you had Ike Gundogan coming in for Mateo Kovacic, Kevin De Bruyne coming in for Jeremy Doku as well. And then for Everton, Jordan Pickford at goalie, Gerard Braithwaite, James Tarkowski at centre back. We had Seamus Coleman right back, um, Vitalier Mikolenko left back. They had Mangala, Goy, Idrissa Gueye, Abdoulaye Doucouré in midfield, and you had Jack Harrison uh, and Iliman Ndiaye, uh, and also Dominic Calvert-Lewin, top nine for Everton for that game. So I'm gonna just look for that highlight here in a sec. Let me see. Okay, so basically, I'm just watching the highlights for the Man City versus Everton game. I'm just kind of curious to see how this game went. Be for real. Hopefully, this is an extended highlight um, as well. Game ended 1-1. We're currently at halftime in the busy slate of game with five games ongoing at the moment. Just to recap where we are with those games, we have Newcastle are 1-0 up at halftime. Chelsea is 1-0 up against Fulham as well at halftime. I'm going to pause this. Bournemouth played 0-0, and Southampton and West Ham is currently 0-0 at halftime. Later in the day, we have Wolves at home versus Manchester United, Liverpool at home versus Leicester City as well. So I'm just going to watch the highlights for this game. I'm just curious. I don't want to laugh at Man City too much, but I think Pep Guardiola sucks. So I'm just going to take a quick look at the highlights for the Man City versus Everton game. this is kind of an extended highlight. I'm probably looking for, okay. So in the 14th minute, I think that's when Manchester City scored. Hmm. So Bernardo Silva with the goal. In the 36 minutes, Everton equalized. And it seems Haaland missed a penalty in this game. Hmm. Okay. Not very impressive, but as you can see, that game ended 1-1 between Manchester City and Everton. That I don't think Everton is a pretty good team as well. So just gonna go here. Just interested to see kind of the team Tottenham is playing with against Nottingham Forest away from home. So just gonna go here, take a quick look. So 1-1. So Nottingham Forest are home against Tottenham. Just gonna quickly look at the lineups here. So for Nottingham Forest, they're playing a 4-2-3-1 formation. Tottenham 4-2-3-1 formation as well. It's currently 1-0 in favor of Tottenham. Got Tottenham starting with Fraser Foster in goal as well. This defense has all kinds of issues. There's no Pedro Porro, no Christian Romero. So in defense, we have Archie Gray, Radusin, Destiny Udogi, and Jet Spence on the right. Midfield, you have Pape Matesa and Rodrigo Bentancur, with Hugh Min-son Kulusevski and Brennan Johnson supporting Dominic Solanke in front. And then for Nottingham Forest, got Marcels in goalie, Murillo and Milenkovic as centre backs. You got Nico Williams and Ola Aina on the wings. And midfield, Anderson and Yates. And then supporting Chris Wood up front will be Hudson Odoi, Gibbs White, and Anthony Elanga. That scored the goal. And then taking a quick look at the Newcastle Aston Villa game. So John Duran has a red card in the 32nd minute. Anthony Gordon scored the goal in the second minute. Just looking a look at the teams on here for Newcastle. You got Dubravka in goal, Dan Bourne and Ben Shah or Fabian Shah on centre back. You got Lewis Hall, left back, and Kieran Trippier has a yellow card. So in midfield, he has Sandro Tonali, Joelinton, and Bruno Guimaraes. And supporting Isaac up front will be Jacob Murphy and Anthony Gordon that actually scored the goal in the second minute, and it's currently halftime in those games. And Chelsea, you have Cole Palmer scoring the 16th minute. Chelsea's up 1-0 at home. Looking at the lineups here at goalie, got Robert Sanchez in goalie. You got Levi Colwill and Tosina Darabia Bayo in defense. Left back, Cucurella, Marlon Gusto right back. You got Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. In midfield, Jadon Sancho, Cole Palmer, Neto supporting Nicolas Jackson up front for Chelsea with Cole Palmer scoring the goal. Fulham has He's playing a 5-4-1 formation. Brent Leno at goalie, and at the back, you got Joachim Anderson, Calvin Bassey, Issa Diop, Anthony Robinson, and Timothy Castagne. And supporting Raul Jimenez in front, you got Iwobi, Lukic, Pereira, and Adama Traore. For Fulham, and for Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace, this game is basically nil-nil at halftime. No goals yet. Kepa Arrizabalaga is the goalie for Bournemouth, playing a 4-2-3-1 formation. You got Milos Kekers, left back, right back Aarons, and defense. I can't say that. Dean Hudson, Hudson, Elias Abani, and centre back. Then midfield, you got Cook, Christie, and supporting Enes Unal. Up front will be Otara, Justin Kluivert, and Antoine Semenyo. For Bournemouth and Crystal Palace, playing a 3-4-2-1 formation. Dean Henderson at goalie, got Magehi, Trevor Chalobah, and Maz Mazens Lacroix in defense, and then you got Tyreek Mitchell and Munoz as the wingbacks. Midfield, Jefferson Lemmer and Will Hughes, Eberichi Eze, Ismail Assar, and Philippe Mateta up front for Crystal Palace. And Southampton versus West Ham, game 0-0 at halftime. Taking a look at the lineups, it's a 3-4-1-2 formation for Southampton, right? And 3-4-1-2 formation for Southampton and a 4-1-4-1 formation for West Ham. Aaron Ramsdale at goalie for Southampton, three defenders, Nathan Wood, Jan Bednarek, and Taylor Haywood Bellis. In midfield, you got the two fullbacks with Walker Peters and Yukinari Sugawara. For Southampton in the wing backs, and then you got Leslie Ugochukwu and Flynn Downs. Midfield, we got Mateus Fernandez supporting Paul Onuachu and Adam Armstrong. Up front and for Fulham, or rather for West Ham, you got Lucas Fabianski at goal. That has been taken off for Alphonse Areola. So I'm guessing that would be an injury. Then you got Maskilman centre back with Konstantinos Mavropanos in defense, Aaron Bissaka and Emerson on the wings. Guido Rodriguez playing defensive midfield, and the four supporting offensive players for Nicolas Fulkrug would be Mohamed Kudus, Thomas Sushek, Carlos Sorhe, and Jared Bowen for West Ham United. For that, so that would be a recap of all the games so far at this moment. Interesting Premier League slate so far. Um, two games to go today. So there are two games that would still play. Wolves at home to Man City and Liverpool at home um, facing Leicester United. So I'm just looking at a few of the highlights here from the Chelsea Fulham game. Hmm. Nicolas Jackson. Well, the second half has begun in most of the games here. Starting off, I know the Chelsea Fulham game, the second half has begun. Um, in that game, Chelsea leading 1-0. I'm just going to take a quick look here at the English Premier League table right now. So we're currently almost halfway into the season. There are usually 38 games played in the English Premier League season, and where for some teams it's already 18 or currently playing their 18th game, which will be one game before halfway through the season. So just taking a look at the English Premier League table here, a quick analysis, or just to go through that. Got Liverpool at the top of the table, 39 points, but they've played only 16 games. Chelsea, 38 points currently, playing their 18th game live right now. Nottingham Forest on Boxing Day, also playing their 18th game, currently at 34 points at third position. Arsenal has played only 17 games, 33 points. Um, Very interesting here. I'm looking at the goal difference. Nottingham Forest has a positive 5 goal difference and their third position. So that's interesting because everybody around them, Liverpool positive 21 goal difference, positive 19 goal difference for Chelsea, and positive 18 goal difference for Arsenal at 33 points. Just under that, you got Newcastle 29 points, Bournemouth 29 points, which is currently playing their 18th game as well. And Man City, after already concluding their 18th game against Everton, is currently at 28 points, 11 points behind Liverpool with 2 games in hand for Manchester City. I'm going to go down here and take a look. Tottenham is at 11th position, currently playing the 18th game, 23 points. And Manchester United is 22 points, played 17 games, and has a game away from home against Wolves. Bottom 10 on Boxing Day. I think I saw something that that would be a historic mark for Manchester United in a long time, being at the bottom half of the English Premier League table. I'm not surprised. Manchester United sucks. Anyway, they're not a really good team, so I would expect them to be somewhere up here this season. Gotta rub it in. Anyway, uh, so we're just gonna watch. I'm just gonna try to watch a few games here. Just ooh, that was a nice chance. That was a nice chance for Chelsea and an excellent save from the Fulham goalkeeper. So I think Chelsea has a corner here. Enzo Fernandez would be taking that corner kick. So I'm gonna try here to just watch the game a little bit. What would be interesting to me is to try to add some background soundtrack to these live streams when not talking. I'm gonna explore what the options are for that. I'm actually gonna do that. Just take a look, do that while watching the game here. Ooh. That's a poor attempt by Nicholas Jackson. Great run, running behind the defenders. Quick 1-2 pass. Nice pass from Cole Palmer. A very difficult chance, though. Interesting. Let's see. Can we connect Twitter? So right now, this stream is currently on YouTube. I'm gonna try to connect Twitter to the stream. Okay. Okay. So it seems streaming on X is a little bit more interesting, I would say. Not as straightforward. Okay. We'll check that out at some point soon. Okay, let's get back to the games and where we are. So, just a quick just a quick update here. So for Chelsea, Fulham is still 1-0. Bournemouth Crystal Palace still 0-0. Newcastle versus Aston Villa, that's still 1-0 in favor of Newcastle. Nottingham Forest is still leading Tottenham 1-0, and Tottenham just missed a really good chance for Brennan Johnson. Looking for a handball, but might not get that handball in that chance for Brennan Johnson. And then Southampton at home versus West Ham United. That game is still at 0-0. I'm looking for something exciting in these games right now on Boxing Day. I'm just here, I'm watching the Premier League, and kind of just looking for anything exciting in these games. So this is interesting. Just taking a look here at the stats leaders in the English Premier League. Goals, Mohamed Salah with 15 goals, Erling Haaland with 13 goals, and Cole Palmer with 12 goals with more than half of the season to go. We all know what Mohamed Salah does. Erling Haaland, 13 goals, but Cole Palmer, 12 goals. That's awesome. Assists, ooh, we got Mo Salah with 11 assists. Bukayo Saka with 10, currently now injured. And Amad Diallo, ooh, it's 2-0 here for Newcastle, playing with a one-man advantage. West Ham also now has a red card in this game. And Newcastle, Mohamed Isaac. Could that be an offside? Nope. 2-0 to Newcastle. Alexandra Alexander Isak. I said Mohamed Isak. Where that came from, I have no idea. So Amad Diallo, assist 6. Yellow cards, Flynn Downs, 7 yellow cards. Marco Corella, 7 yellow cards, and Saksha Lukic for Fulham, 7 yellow cards, and red cards, Jack Stevens, 2 red cards for Southampton, Andrew Robertson, 1 red card, and Ashley Young, 1 red card. So we got just one person in the Premier League this season, Jack Stevens, with 2 red cards. So far, live table. See, Chelsea up here, 30. Okay, that's not a full live table. Okay, so interesting overview. All right. Okay. I'm gonna check something out here. I'm curious to now that I'm looking at the English Premier League tables, I'm curious to see the stats in the English Premier League. This is a table. Let's see if we can find the stats in the Premier League here. Okay, stats. Curious to see what those stats are while Chelsea kind of move forward. Ish. Nico Jackson. Okay. So stats in the English Premier League. Currently, as of right now, we have Mo Salah. Mo Salah leading in goals, 15 goals, assists, leading as well with 11 assists, undoubtedly dominating the English Premier League and his team at the top of the English Premier League table. We got Van Dijk with highest amount of passes, 1,250. Would that just be like distributing balls around? I don't know how important this stat is about completed passes. When to me these are not really vital passes. You see Levi Colwell, defenders dominating here with 1,228. Just one mistake from a defender is more costly even though they have a lot of completed passes. So that's interesting. Clean sheets. Jordan Pickford for Everton. Now that's shocking. I didn't think Jordan Pickford would lead clean sheets in the Premier League with, in my opinion, what I think is a bad defense in Everton. So that is really curious, considering that I'm not. Alisson Becker has only three, and Liverpool is leading the league. That's interesting for me. That's something interesting to know there. So okay, I'm gonna go to the goals. We got Haaland second, Cole Palmer third, Alexander Isak 11 goals. That makes a whole lot of sense. Having an excellent season. Brian Mbemo, his combination with Yuan Wissa in Brentford is always very interesting to me. I think they're two prolific. Just as I said, I see Yuan Wissa with 9 goals too on this list. Both of them have literally carried the scoring for Brentford in the English Premier League. Got Chris Wood, 10 goals, having a fantastic season for Nottingham Forest. Matheus Cunha as well, 9 goals, pretty good season. Nicholas Jackson, 9 goals, pretty good season. And James Maddison, 8 goals for assists. Got Bukayo Saka. A lot of this Bukayo Saka 10 assists. It's kind of a little different from Mo Salah's because a lot. Okay, so it seems West Ham, even with the man down and a red card. Let's see who got a red card for West Ham. Did somebody get a red card for West Ham? I think that might have been taken back. Nope. West Ham now leads 1-0 against Southampton in their game in the Premier League. I'm going to go back to what was going on here. So West Ham leads 1-0. Nottingham Forest still leads just by 1-0. Newcastle leads by 2-0 with the man advantage. The red card for Aston Villa for John Duran. Bournemouth at home 0-0 versus Crystal Palace, and Chelsea still leading 1-0 from a goal from Cole Palmer in the 16th minute. I'm going back here to the assists. You got Amad Diallo, 6 assists this season. Jacob Murphy, 6 assists. Cole Palmer, 6 assists. Anthony Robinson, 6 assists. Son Heung-min, 6 assists. Kind of makes sense. Nothing really off there for me. Anthony Robinson, a fullback for Fulham, being at 6 assists. That stands out to me. Elliot Anderson, Nottingham Forest, 5 assists from midfield. Bruno Fernandes, 5. And Mikel Damsgaard for Brentford, 5 assists. If Johan Wissa and Bemo is going to combine for 19 goals, somebody got to give them those assists. And Mikel Damsgaard has 5 assists this season. For the clean sheets, very surprising for me, Jordan Pickford leading clean sheets with 7. You got Andre Onana of Manchester United 6. David Raya 6. That's kind of makes sense. Nottingham Forest Marcel 6. That makes sense. Robert Sanchez 4. Interesting. Bournemouth 3. Alisson Becker 3. Dean Henderson 3 for Crystal Palace. Um, oh, we got 3 for Alisson Becker and 3 for Kelleher. So because of when Alisson missed time, so that's about 6 clean sheets for Liverpool in total. That makes more sense. And Bernd Leno 3 clean sheets for Liverpool. So we're gonna go to club stats in the English Premier League here. For goals, total goals scored. Tottenham Hotspur is at the top of this list. They got 39 total goals. They might have one of the leakier defenses, but they have 39 goals scored. They score a lot of goals. So another prolific offense will be Chelsea, 38 goals. Liverpool, 37 goals. And then you have Arsenal, 34 goals. Brentford, 32 goals. Man City. Oh, yep. Man City, 30 goals. Newcastle, 29. So when they say Tottenham has 39 goals, I gotta go to the league table and see Chelsea has goal for 38. Okay, so that's the total goals for the team. Brighton, Bournemouth 27, Brighton 27, and Wolves 27 points. And then for tackles, Crystal Palace definitely make sure they get their money's worth on tackles. You got 385 tackles, leading the whole English Premier League. Man U 361. I don't know how Man U has 361 tackles. Those must be okay. Wolves 361 tackles. Leicester 357 tackles. Bournemouth 352. Everton 348. It does seem that a lot of bad teams have a lot of tackles. Everton 348, Nottingham Forest 331, Spurs 316, West Ham 308, Fulham 307. Total number of games won, Liverpool expectedly 12 games won, Chelsea 10, Arsenal 9, Forest 9, Villa 8, Bournemouth 8, Man City 8, Brentford 7, and Newcastle 7, and Spurs 7. And losses, of course, Southampton has. This team just gives up horrible defensively. 13 losses, Wolves 11 losses. How far their manager got a new one. Ipswich 9 losses, Leicester 9 losses, Brentford 8, Spurs 8, Spurs and Man 8, Man U 7, Crystal Palace 7, West Ham 7, Everton 6. Interesting stats here in the English Premier League. So these are player stats, these are Premier League club stats. I'm going to try player stats, see if there's more information here that might be interesting. Okay, so this is a full breakdown. Okay, so you got general appearances, minutes played. Not really interesting. Goals from penalty. I think that's an interesting stat here in the English Premier League. So we got Justin Kluivert. I remember he scored a hat trick of penalties in one game. So 5 penalties scored. Salah 4, Cole Palmer 3, Fernandez 2, Mbemo 2, Paqueta 2, Chris Wood 2, Ayu 1, 1, 1. That's an interesting stats. Goals from free kicks. James Madison. So I guess just one. Everybody here is basically one free kick. Nobody has scored more than one. That's crazy. I remember watching football several years ago, and they used to score more free kicks. The days of David Beckham, Pirlo, Juninho, specialist in free kick. That might be an argument that I make about why watching the English Premier League is not as fun as I used to enjoy before. I loved seeing goals from a distance. That's not a very common thing anymore in the Premier League. Let's see here. Can I find goals from corner kicks? Arsenal would definitely lead that. That's a fun start. Last man tackles. That's a fun start. Let's see. Gerard Braithwaite, last man tackle. Max Kilman and Maxence Lacroix. Morello concern. Interesting start. Errors leading to goals. What if switched out Arejanet Murik? 5 errors leading to goals. Stands alone. Uh, Ethan Pinnock. 3 errors leading to goals. Sanchez, of course, Sanchez has 3 errors. Where is Anana and Sanchez? 3. Verbruggen, 3. Looking for Anana. World First, 3. Flynn Downs with all his yellow cards. 2. Cucurella, Casemiro, 2. Interesting. Penalties considered. Does anybody have more than one? Jose Sa, Robert, of course, Robert Sanchez. Penalties saved. Just Pickford. Pickford is having a terrific season. That contributed to 2 clean sheets. 7 clean sheets. 2 penalties saved. Impressive. There's so many interesting stats here on the Premier League website. I think that's cool. Nothing really has changed since the last update in the Premier League. Just gonna go through the scores here once more. As you can see on the screen, it's Newcastle is still leading by 2-0. Nottingham Forest 1-0. Chelsea leading by 1-0 against Fulham. Nottingham Forest is leading Tottenham, by the way, by 1-0. Bournemouth 0-0. Southampton is home and losing 0-1 to West Ham United. So, with the games right now are the 78th, 77th, 75th minutes. Got about 15 more minutes till the end of this busier schedule in the Boxing Day schedule in the English Premier League. So let's see here. Southampton has a chance and it's missed. Of course, Southampton missed it. West Ham is not a very good defense, but Southampton might even be a worse offense and defense combined. Voila. I'm going to try to share another screen soon. Just working on that. Let's see. Ooh, we got action. So right now, Fulham just equalized Chelsea, and that game is now 1-1. And Newcastle has scored their third game as well. We're going to take a further look into that in a second. Just a quick detour from myself. So we're going to see here. Let's see if I do this.
Just sat back and watched Fred, I said Fred, but Pep be fraudulent for over 10 years. And in my opinion, like they say, there's a good saying that, when the breeze blows, finally the ass of the chicken actually shows up. But my point is, I don't think I have, I'm rushing to this kind of what's happening with Pep because I think Pep is a horrible manager, maybe a decent coach. But when we talk about manager, is you manage situations. He doesn't manage anything. Has never managed anything. And I'm going to make a few points about this. Guys, I said I was going to, and they go ahead, right? The first thing, a really good team because Man City was playing excellent football with Man City and they won the league themselves a year before that, before Leicester came in, with players that we now consider excellent and plus is not a normal thing. Only to go stack his card, see two things together, they'll do that. For he was a decent coach because he was in Barca, he won. There's Messi, you think, and then you go to Bayern Munich and he showed me he has no adjustment in him. He's a really stubborn guy. It's my way or the highway in terms of the.
Okay, so let's take a look at where the games currently are. It's 88 minutes, basically 90 minutes in most of these games here. I'm just gonna take go through the games. Chelsea is currently playing a tie. Chelsea is currently playing a tie right now with Fulham at 1-1. I just want to pull up the stats for that game. So Fulham scored at the 82nd minute from Harry Wilson. I missed that, so it's basically crunch time. If Chelsea wants 3 points in this game, they gotta go and they gotta find and get it now. That's the danger of being just 1-0 up. Is you could lose 2 points in any second in soccer here. So 82nd minute, Harry Wilson scored for Fulham. Also, there has been a few changes. Andres Pereira out, Tom Kenny in, and Rodrigo Muniz in for Rahul Jimenez for Fulham. Christopher Nkunku is in for Chelsea for Nicholas Jackson as well in that game. Going to another game, Bournemouth at home to Crystal Palace. That game is still 0-0. No goals here. If we look at some of the advanced stats, the game pretty equal, possession 51-48, so pretty tight game there as well. Looking at the stats here for Chelsea as well versus Fulham. Um, Fulham seems to be winning the start possession department 53. Kind of Fulham has more shots, attempts, um, shot on goal 6-6 each. This seems to be a tight game, low corner kick game as well between Fulham and Chelsea. And we go into the game between Newcastle and Aston Villa. Aston Villa has a red card. What I did notice is that the Newcastle third goal was actually disallowed for offside, so it's still 2-0 in that game. If you just go down the stats a bit, you would expect Newcastle to dominate. They have a red card 61-38 in possession. Um, 20 shots on target for Newcastle. They've dominated this game, only has 2 goals. Anthony Gordon and Alexander Isak, and John Duran um, ejected with a red card in the 32nd minute. Nottingham Forest, I expected or thought this game would be a high scoring game, but Anthony Elanga, 28th minute. Nottingham Forest still on track to win Tottenham Sports in this game. Right now, it's at the 90th minute in the game, basically an additional time. And just a few changes. James Madison is in the game for Papesa, Lucas Beckver for Bentancur, and Timo Werner for Son Heung-min for Tottenham. Nottingham Forest, Morato in for Elanga, Taiwo Awoniyi in for Chris Wood, Ramon Sosa in for Callum Hudson Odoi and James Ward-Prowse in for Anderson and Jota Silva in for Morgan Gibbs White. That game is almost over. Nottingham Forest trying to hold on and win the game, and you got Southampton at home to West Ham. West Ham with a goal from Jared Bowen in the 59th minute for West Ham, trying to hold on to win this game away from home for West Ham as well. Somerville in for Nicholas Fulcrock, Carlos Seher out for the game for Edson Alvarez, and Aaron Cresswell in for Rodriguez in this game. Mas Kilman and Fabian is also out of the game. Todibo in for him, and earlier in the game, Lucas Fabianski was out of the game for Alfonso Areola. And on the Southampton side, Adam Armstrong is out for Sulemana. Sugawara out for the game for James Bree, and Matheus Fernandez out for Tyler Dibling, as well as Flynn Downs for Joe Aribo in that game. So we're coming down to the end of these games. This West Ham game still has a little bit more time than all the other games um, as well. And just looking on here, uh, Fulham is trying to actually get all 3 points from Chelsea. It seems Fulham is actually putting the metal on Chelsea on here. So just to wrap up this game, that would take Chelsea down to 36 points if the game ends as a tie after this game, with Liverpool having one game in hand. So we'll see how that goes. Trying to watch the end of that game for this Chelsea. Ooh, is that a goal for Bruno Guimaraes? Actually, Joelinton for Newcastle. I think Newcastle just scored a third goal here, and it was Joelinton. So we're actually at the final minutes of the game, full time in the Bournemouth Crystal Palace game. So that game has ended basically 0-0 between Bournemouth and Crystal Palace. They're both sharing 1 point in that game. Looking on here, additional 6 minutes in the Chelsea versus Fulham game, and we're in the fourth minute. Right. Oh, Chelsea got the 3 points. Actually, not Fulham. Fulham got the 3 points against Chelsea. Late goal. That seems like that's a goal from Rodrigo Muniz. Just gonna get a confirmation. A deft left foot finish. So I would guess that is Rodrigo Muniz grabbing all 3 points for Fulham against Chelsea. It did seem Fulham was playing pretty well closer to the end of this game. So gotta see um, what happened here. Gotta take a quick look at what Chelsea actually did here. Okay, so is this Robert Sanchez? Because this was a horrible clear out. Now I want to see if that's Robert Sanchez. And if it's Robert Sanchez, I'm not surprised that he has done it. Yes, it's Robert Sanchez with a horrible clearance, giving the ball in midfield to Fulham. Quick left foot pass and a beautiful pass into the middle for Fulham and a clean left foot finish from Rodrigo Moniz coming in as a substitute in this game for Raul Jimenez. Oh well, as we said, Chelsea are not title contenders, as we can see with a poor late defensive showing on here, allowing Fulham in the game. Fulham has been terrific. They have 25 points in the English Premier League this year. They have been a solid team in the Premier League as well. So, gotta watch that. Okay, so let's see. There's another full time. Nottingham Forest has won Tottenham 1-0 at home. Tottenham is basically in a free fall. Um, without Pedro Porro and Christian Romero, they are, and Van der Ven as well. They're in a whole lot of trouble trying to pick up points in the Premier League. These are tough games. Um, I'm looking here. The West Ham game, 87th minute, West Ham still leads 1-0. That game is not over. Additional time in the Newcastle 5 additional time, that's 3-0. We can basically say it's 90 plus 4, less than a minute left. So we can say that game is almost over. Ooh, what a chance for Chelsea. Great, great save from the Nottingham Forest goalie. Nice pass from Cole Palmer. Very nice attempt at finishing. That seems like it's Christopher Nkunku as well. Trying to finish that for Chelsea. So it seems Chelsea has won a free kick in the dangerous area. It's 96 minute already. I think they're giving extra maybe a minute or two for Chelsea because of the celebration for the goal. So this would probably be the final. Actually, the Newcastle Aston Villa game is over 3-0 for Newcastle there. So this will probably be the last chance of the game. Cole Palmer is going to be taking the free kick, trying to load this in the box, and this will be the final opportunity for Chelsea to grab a point in this Boxing Day schedule, 26 December 2024. And defensive header, still messing around. Fulham back in. Fulham is messing around with headers around their box, and then Cole Palmer blows it wide, and that should be the end of the game. And Fulham picks up all 3 points. That's interesting. So Fulham picks up all 3 points. So that should be the end of the live stream here. So basically, we're going to do a final look at the live Premier League table here after those games. Chelsea lost, so going from possibly 38 points, they're now 35 points, 4 points behind Liverpool with two outstanding games. To Liverpool, Fulham, one, has moved up to 28 points, eighth position in the Premier League. Now, if you look at it, you can see Liverpool at the top, Chelsea second, 18. Nottingham Forest got their win, 34 points, only 1 point behind Chelsea, and five behind Liverpool with two outstanding games. Liverpool, Arsenal, 33 points, 17 games played. Newcastle got a 3-0 win, 29 points. Bournemouth, I think they played a draw against Crystal Palace, 29 points. So interesting day in the English Premier League. So we're going to get so that will be it. That was a fun Premier League. I think the not so fun part is Chelsea was leading comfortably 1-0 and Fulham came and won the game. There's always a game like that usually. It's a Boxing Day. I thought there would be more high scoring games in Nottingham Forest versus Tottenham game. I thought that would be more interesting. Ended up 1-0, a little bit of a bummer considering they just lost 6-3 to Liverpool in terms of goal scoring. But the Fulham game, quite interesting. Fulham actually came in, played well throughout the game, possession attempts kind of kept it with Chelsea, and away from home beat Chelsea in Stamford Bridge 2-1 at the end of the game with a substitute goal from Rodrigo Muniz replacing Raul Jimenez. Okay, so that's been the Boxing Day watch along. There's still two games to come for today. It would be Wolves at home versus Manchester United, and Liverpool at home versus Leicester United. That will be the end of the live stream for whoever came through, passed through, watched the live stream. I appreciate it. If you see this live stream later, lots of technical issues, a lot of experimentation, trying to figure this out. The live streams are going to be better. Today I'm alone. I'm going to try to get people on here to make it fun, testing out a few things, testing out the media, graphics, and some interesting things on here on the live stream, which is interesting. I actually, interesting for me would be how to add graphics to a live stream. I'm gonna work on that right now. It's only on YouTube. Also gotta figure out how to get that on Twitter and X. Gonna be working on a few things here, so there might be a little bit of a technical experimentation going on with the live streams, but gonna be trying to get this all sorted out here on the channel. I gotta figure out how to get graphics on the channel. That's something. Anyway, we're gonna work on that as well. Oh, gotta try something here.
Powered by Riverside.
Okay, so a few things tested. Just checking this out, and we'll do a drum roll. End of the show. So the final game is still on, and final time West Ham has won 1-0. So final scores for all the games: Bournemouth 0, Crystal Palace 0, Chelsea 1, Fulham 2, Newcastle 3, Aston Villa 0. We can now vibe to end this stream, guys. That's how we end the stream, guys. You all know that Christmas Day for all the Chelsea fans. For all the Chelsea fans, this is not a better time. If you didn't want Chelsea to win, we can end it with some vibing. We can dance. We can get some soul music. You know, to console yourselves, Chelsea fans. You just better to it. Outro to take ourselves away. Yes, let's get right into it. What I would need to know is if I can actually be heard when this good music and the background is like going on. A little distracting, but better than silence, you know what I mean? So that one can hold ground. Why silence takes a back seat? So that will be interesting to see. 22 and Livestream is going to be ending in a minute. Thank you so much for coming through. And if the music is here and we share,